Okay, a message for you, Scorpio. Scorpios are getting a makeover in love. For some of you, it's like a physical makeover. You may be changing out wardrobes, trying out new hairstyles or lengths. But honestly, Scorpio, the biggest message coming through with that for you, it's like, it's a makeover in love. It's a very conscious makeover in love, but it feels like it's an energetic makeover, okay? Because you're consciously manifesting what you want now. You guys are calling in a very different experience. Now, you may have already done that. You may have already called in the new partner, and it is a brand new experience. But you're going to find some sort of contrast with somebody, someone from the past. There's some sort of reference point that gets spotlighted, it feels like, over the next couple of weeks that shows you, one, how much you've grown if you have a current partner, and it is a completely different experience, especially for the better. You may bump into an ex and you go, "Ooh, I'm so glad I didn't settle for that," or "I'm so glad we had the courage to go our separate ways." For others of you, you're stepping into that energy now. You're manifesting from that place now. It's very positive, Scorpio. Good job. You are getting that makeover in love that you've been asking for, because it feels very conscious. That feels like very conscious energy. Okay? Just recognize that that energy is coming in. If you've already called that and manifested that all the way into your life, expect some sort of reference point to show up, probably in the form of an ex or somebody reminding you of an ex. Okay? All right, let's get a little bit more clarity. Scorpio in love. For some of you, it's somebody wanting a reconciliation. Is this of the highest good, Scorpio? Or are they supposed to show up so that you can see, oh, I have learned that lesson? Because for many people during Mercury retrograde, exes are going to show up. People from the past will show up. And it's about a reflection to see what it is you still need to heal. It's not about going back. Not for everybody. But for you, Scorpio, it's like, it's a reflection that you already are healed. I see for many of you, if anyone shows up from the past, and this isn't just in love, this will apply to friendships or family members, even close family members that maybe you've cut ties with over the years, and you still being able to stand there in your truth, like, yeah, okay, I still stand behind my decision with love and light. I send you nothing but love and light, but I'm at peace, I'm good, I've healed, and I have manifested at a much higher level than this. There's something really peaceful, but also a lot of personal power in this, Scorpio. So it's really beautiful energy for you. Nothing but peace around that. As long as you don't mistake someone who's just supposed to show up as the reflection, as long as you don't mistake somebody or mistake that situation as something that you absolutely are destined to entertain, you can go that route. But it does feel like you would have to rehash a whole bunch of old karma. That personal power energy that comes through with this, it's like, I just don't think it's something you would entertain, okay? But recognize that it's still a blessing. Recognize that it is still worth your time to have that moment of reflection. You guys feel like you're in a great place. Make the effort, okay? What I'm feeling for some of you, with reconciliation and make the effort to follow, for those of you that have really, really, really long-term relationships, especially marriages, and you've had a separation, but it's not super extended. It's not like you separated a year ago. It should be recent, over the last couple of months, maybe max. That feels like someone you should actually entertain getting back with. But it feels like you hadn't fully separated. It may not have even been a true physical separation. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting travel here. For some of you, you or a partner has been traveling a lot and it's created some sort of distance. Naturally, that happens with anybody, even people in very solid, committed relationships, healthy, strong love. If somebody's away all the time, it can become an issue, even if you're communicating openly, okay? What I'm seeing with this is someone coming home, someone recognizing that it's doing a little damage to their current relationship. It could be you. You could be traveling, and your partner's just really starting to suffer because of it. Is that kind of reconciliation that's very positive. People who are still connected to your life, those feel like healthy reconciliations. For example, too, for those of you, love is good, you're not traveling, and this applies more so to friends. It's like a friend, you didn't completely cut them off, there wasn't absolute silence, or you haven't spoken for a week. It's time to resolve that, okay? There are some people that should come back in, but it's the people from like deep past, like a year ago, 5 years ago, maybe longer. don't be surprised if some of those people show up. It's the same energy, it feels like, from way back when. It's those people are just meant to be the reflection, okay? But if it's a newer separation, that actually does feel like something you can entertain. But regardless of whether you entertain it or not, the option shows up for you soon, okay? For those of you who've been traveling or the partner's been traveling too much, it's getting resolved soon. That's what this is, okay? Someone's coming home. You're not going to have that distance all the time anymore, or working all those crazy hours. There's better balance and it's healthy, and there's a lot of love and happiness here. For others of you, again, it could be that person from deep past that gives you the opportunity to just be really grateful for where you're at now and who you've called in now. For those of you, though, in those very committed relationships, especially if marriage, okay? Or you have a relationship like a marriage. You live together, you've been together for a very long time. I feel very strongly that it's important to give this another shot. If you feel like you're ready, you don't have to rush into that over the next couple of weeks, but it does feel like you're going to start having some conversations around it. The resolution may be that, you know what, we've taken our space and I've realized that I've evolved past this and I do need to see the separation through to completion. There'll be a few of you having those conversations, but I actually see some really blessed and really healthy reconciliations coming up. Yeah, make the effort, center of the reading, okay? This is being clarified by soulmate. Don't give up on your high-level soulmates, okay? These people feel very close to you. Anyone close to you, really, really, really close to your heart, close to your life. We're not talking about acquaintances that stepped out, that person you dated for a couple of months and it didn't work out. I'm talking about a spouse. I'm talking about a best friend you've had distance with, a sibling, a parent, okay? There's been a little bit of an issue. There's a soul connection here, but also recognize something karmic was going on too. It doesn't excuse anybody of bad behavior. It doesn't mean that you didn't feel distance and that you didn't suffer through some things. There's so much positive, healthy energy around rekindling with siblings, rekindling with a spouse, and rekindling with a best friend. What I caution you on is rekindling with exes where you've had some really legitimate distance, okay? We had two other cards that popped. Yeah. As clarifiers for honeymoon, okay? Wedding and keep an open mind. For those of you with these kind of commitments, major commitments, marriage type commitments, travel together, spend legitimate conscious time together, carve time out. It does feel like you need to go away somewhere. If you can afford it, do it. Keep an open mind. You may have been at your wit's end. Scorpio, you may be at a place right now where you're really thinking, okay, I think the marriage is over. We've had some separation. I don't know. Spirit is asking you to keep an open mind. Do not make that decision during Mercury retrograde right now. Do not do it. You will regret it. There is something very, very, very positive around those of you who are separated from a spouse or a partner you were with for a very long time coming back together. Keep an open mind to it, even if it's just conversations. It feels like something's getting resolved. It really feels like karma's getting resolved. The eclipses are going to help you guys do that. I'm feeling some bad behaviors or old behaviors. Also thought patterns. But again, it's all about the energy, right? Getting a makeover and love. What kind of energy have you been putting out? What kind of energy is your partner been putting out? It's like you guys are both, if you've been in long-term relationships, and probably inspired by you, Scorpio, being very conscious of energy out there in the universe, now manifesting something much bigger, much higher vibing. And for many of you, it's healing of your current relationship. For others of you, it's the makeover and love. It's not about these old people and relationships coming back. It's about major commitments coming in that are fresh, that are new, that are different. But it does feel like a brand new start. It doesn't feel like any of you guys are going to entertain that stagnant status quo if you're unhappy at the core. Scorpio, that chapter's over. Crowning your reading is separation, okay? There are definitely some separations here. It feels like there are major ones. For those of you, especially if you've been married, keep an open mind to coming back together with this person, okay? Keep an open mind. For others of you, again, the separation has to do with travel. That's getting resolved very soon, but you do need to communicate. Scorpio, if you're the one who hasn't been traveling and you've been suffering, you need to communicate that to a partner. They're not going to like putting you through that, okay? They're going to take steps to resolve that. There is healing here. But for those of you who've gone through the separation and you know you're not going back, you're done, okay? There does feel like there's new love here. It's a new chapter. That may be the catalyst. The separation may be the catalyst for that whole body, head to toe makeover. That feels very positive. I do recommend waiting until after you are out of Mercury retrograde before you make any drastic changes. You'll be happier with them if you wait. But there's a makeover in love. Ultimately, Scorpio, you guys are coming full circle very consciously. You're coming full circle very consciously with new energy out there in the universe, new thoughts, conscious energy, conscious manifestation, not just for your highest good, but of the highest good, for love that you are calling in that is new, and for current relationships. Bottom of the deck here. Give your relationship a chance. For those of you with long-term commitments, it is just not the time to close the door on this. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret making that decision over the next couple of weeks, okay? Have those conversations. You don't have to rush back into commitment. But do recognize that there are some karmic things coming up right now, amplified because we have these 2 eclipses back to back, okay? Plus Mercury retrograde. Be patient, work at this, okay? This person is a soulmate. There is high level love here for you. Give love a chance if you're single. Give love a chance. Give new love a chance. Do not fall back into those old relationships where it's just old karma that's going to resurface. You can do that without having to experience it all over again. You can heal and cleanse that, okay, Scorpio? Let me see if I have any other messages for you guys. Yes, I do. So we touched a little bit on friends. I'm getting friendship cards coming through. This feels like a childhood friend. Don't be surprised if a childhood friend shows up, contacts you on social media. I see you guys making plans to get together, and that feels really healthy and really positive. Very, very, very healthy. I do feel childhood friends and siblings that you were always really close to. They were like a best friend to you. It feels like a best friend. It feels like an old best friend coming back into the picture. That actually feels really blessed for you too, Scorpio, okay? Keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. But ultimately, I know how razor sharp your intuition already is. If something feels off, trust it, okay? There are some people that are not meant to come back into the picture for you, Scorpio. So take your time before you decide who stays and who goes. Don't rush into that over the next couple of weeks. You are getting resolution. There is resolution and there is healing here. Whether you're single or you're coupled, whether we're talking about old friends or old partners showing up, there is resolution, there is clarity, okay? Keep your head up for those of you going through separations. I think some of you, especially those long-term partners, really feels like you guys are getting back together soon. And it feels like it's truly of the highest good.